thanks for joining us. First of all, actually, you know, for somebody who's involved in the technology side of things, you hear stories like the one we just heard from Amy all the time. Give us some idea of the impact of those stories on you, because you're clearly not in this just because of the technology. You're completely immersed. Having talked to you a little bit before the event started today, you're so immersed in the effect of what this can do for children.
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with people, really. So we started getting into like prosthetics back at university, but never had any desire to start a company. But all it was is that we were just talking to people and sort of asking, like, you know, what do you care about? Just doing this, coming and meet people that actually live these kind of, you know, with these kind of things, and just saying what's important to you, and noticing that there seemed to be still some gaps between what's available to people to, you know, tools to do stuff and what people are asking for. And it's like, well, that sucks. Let's try and make something that's useful. And I know we met Amy through Melissa. Hi, Melissa. And same kind of thing. I know we hit it off because we were talking the same language. And when you talk to people, when you talk to academia, it's all about the technology, it's all about the high-flying stuff, which is exciting to an engineer. But when you talk to people, it's like, oh, I want a tool to do this niche task. I want to fire a bow and arrow. I want to put laser beams in my arm to, you know, look like Buzz Lightyear. Like, that's cool. That's fun. Let's make stuff like that. And that's how we sort of got into it.
So looking at, for example, Hero, you know, who's still quite young, but obviously there's going to become that moment where prostheses are going to be looked at and thought about. What do you say to people when the time isn't maybe quite right yet, but it will come? What do you say to them?
Well, essentially, we're just a sponge for ideas. Like, we love talking to and just hearing what people actually want to do. And so, I mean, we were talking to a mother of literally a five-month-old baby who she was getting fitted, but her clinic suggested getting some prosthetic limbs. But, you know, they're doing certain kind of things where the mum was saying, you know, really it would be cool if this arm had like a rattle in it, so that you could just use it. Like, that's awesome. That's really good. Let's make that. So there's always ideas. So we always want to talk to them and learn. And the thing about what we make is because we make it like clothes and like shoes, so it's flexible and soft. I have one here, and we have a stool at the back, so later come say hey and we can see it. But it's, you know, it's like it's squishy and it's soft and it's like a shoe, like an item of clothing. You can make them really tiny. So we had, you know, Hero was wearing one, and she's wee. In fact, we have a video of her wearing it. If she would, this is like.
Have we got that video? Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
It's like TV.
Wow, is it a snake? Cool. That's a pencil. Is it good?
That absolutely cracks me up. I love that. but it's really simple, and so, you know, it's just like a simple thing like drawing. That's a big impact. That's a lot of fun. That's even if you're really little, you can still use these kind of things that we're kind of building.
We saw her there, obviously, just discovering this. Give us a sense of what difference it made to her, just being able to have that pencil and to be able to do something.
Yeah, it's, you know, drawing's been probably one of the least impactful things she's done with it. For her, it was a big deal for us because we didn't actually really want her to have a prosthetic. She is very capable, and so we were a bit apprehensive when we met Nate, and we had a chat, and it is a tool for her. And it's brilliant. It sits on the shelf. We might not use it for days, but when she does want to use it, it's there. So one of the best things she likes to do is she likes DIY, obviously. So using a screwdriver. So straight away, she goes, gets the mitt, she can put it on herself. She helps me fix the chair or whatever it is we're fixing. And then that's it. It comes off, it goes back on the shelf ready for the next time she needs a tool. So it's just opened doors, I think, for her without it being a big deal, which is what I wanted.
There's always a lot of questions at, you know, every conference. I think this is probably my 5th conference now. People are always asking about prosthetics, you know, the whys and wherefores. And in reality, it seems to be an incredibly individual thing between a parent and a child. And actually, we've got a lot of questions always about different prosthetics for, different differences. So, a very quick one, which you might be able to answer there, which you can probably read, is about if the child doesn't have an elbow joint, how much can a prosthetic help then? Because obviously the one we saw there with Hero is obviously for the lower arm. So give us an idea of the different types of prostheses that children can have.
You skipped over the question about laser beams.
Sorry about that. Answer the laser beam one then first.
We'll get to that. So we're starting with essentially below elbow kind of prosthetics. But the principle, which is just instead of the whole thing being rigid, making bits of it rigid, like a shoe, and the rest of it fabric and flexible so that you can adjust to you, that's applicable to everything. So we're working on legs, and we're also working on above elbow and above knee, which want to be useful. So if there's a gap that's not being filled currently, that's what we want to work on. And so the below elbow arm is the furthest along, and it's sort of what we're starting with to cut our teeth on. But sort of next year, towards the end of next year, is when we're going to start, the early prototypes for the next one. And we would love anyone who wants to try out. We just want to hear how to make it better. So do get in touch. Come and chat to me today, or come and find me an email, and we'll
just
start
in
to
case you
design
didn't hear
together.
earlier on, Nate will be at the back of the room. Feel free to go along and
I'll be
chat
around.
to him.
Please do.
And that adaptability and flexibility and the feedback you guys take is incredible. So over the last sort of year, we've been trialing the Mitt. I've been able to just drop Nate a text and go, so Hero wants to do this. Can you whip something up, please, for us? And that's been really fun. And he's so open to hearing new ideas and all sorts of random things. So, it's really great to be able to look at that.
We made the gripper, by the way. They asked me the other day. You can come. I'll show it to you.
Just carry on your conversation, guys. That's absolutely fine. Just finally, though, every single person in the room will have a different story. There will be a different difference, as we said before. How personalised do you make? Because there's quite a few questions there about, different elements where there's, maybe sometimes there's some fingers, not complete fingers, all those kind of things. Yeah. How personalised can you make a Mitt for a completely different set of circumstances?
Let's try it. I mean, so we have loads of different sizes, is the basic kind of premise. So we have an arm, and it comes in really small, really thin, really long, and wider. And the customizability is sort of inherently built into how flexible it is. So everyone's got a different shaped kind of limb, but because it can sort of take it up and you tighten it to yourself, it molds to you because it's got that flexibility. And because, again, it is something that is flexible and rigid, it's not bespokely molded, you can just come and try it on. So I have literally every size. So if you want to come try one on today and just mess around, like when you're trying on clothes in the store, then we can see how it fits. And then because we can change it quite rapidly. I mean, one day we want to get into, I say one day, soon, we want to get into your Nike ID, where it's your different colors, different color fabrics, different kind of things on the end. So.
And finally, when's the laser beam one coming out? Because you've got a few orders by the sounds of it already.
2K20. No. There was a question raised about am I allowed to send children lasers? And I was like, that's actually a safety issue. Yeah, I need to think about that. But it's a really simple one, and we do actually have a design that works.
Okay. See him later on. Hey guys, I love the fact that you two are talking all the time, and I think that really shows what a personal business that you're in and how involved you are in the individuals who you're looking after. So thanks very much. Quick photo opportunity. Quick phone opportunity. Oh, look at that. See that? Getting himself all ready. But one more time, ladies and gentlemen, Amy Roskilly, and of course, thank you to Nate McAbouag. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, guys. Thank you.